Okay, good rolling. And go.
Good afternoon. I'm Valerie Bashan, and I'm here today with Tiziana Onstead. She's here to talk about her passion for journalism and communications. Hi, Tiziana. How are you today?
Hi, Valerie. I'm doing great. How are you?
Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
What made you want to go into journalism?
Well, I've always had a passion for writing, and when I was younger, I thought I was going to be a writer among many different career goals I wanted to go into. But first I was into creative writing, and then I realized through naturally my values have to do with honesty, and I'm a very curious person, so when it comes down to journalism, it gets down to the roots of the truth and also interviewing people and figuring out and researching, so I guess that kind of goes into it, but that's how I picked journalism with all that collected.
Awesome. Why do you love this field?
A lot of different reasons, back to me being just curious and being able to get down to the roots of things and knowing the truth about it all, but also with my internship and actually being in the classes that helped me out to get to the career I want to be, which is going to be a broadcast reporter. It's really interesting. Like, every day is going to be different. It's not a sit down in an office or a cubicle and have the same routine from 9 to 5. You never know what you're going to get when you walk into the studio or a station, what story you're going to be put on. So I find that more exciting and how I would want to live my life, even though there's cons to it as well.
What are you doing to pursue your degree?
Well, I have been interning at WJXT Channel 4 since May of 2015. I will be there until August of this year, and every day, it's something new, so I'm constantly learning. I'm also in different courses here that's helping me out, announcing, performing, to help me get, on camera or just speaking correctly. Social media for journalism, which practices all my networking skills, getting out there, getting my name out there, and practicing all writing and such for journalism.
Awesome. And what are your career goals?
My career goals, for short-term goals, I would want to be an MMJ after I graduate, which is a multimedia journalist, which means you do everything and beyond. So you're going to be shooting your story, you're going to be editing your story, and you're also going to be reporting it on air. But then I follow up, I ultimately want to be an anchor. So.
Thank you for joining us today, Tiziana. It was great to learn about your passion.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
That's all for today.
That was good.
And go.
All right, good evening. We're here today with Courtney Jelks. He's a communications student at UNF. Thank you for joining us. What made you pick UNF?
It was just such a great campus. I like where it's located. It's in kind of a secluded area, and it's just so many great teachers, students, and just a lot of opportunity to be successful here, so that's why I chose UNF.
How long have you been here?
I've been here since August of 2014.
All right, so that makes you a sophomore?
Well, actually, I'm a junior. I transferred from Santa Fe College in Gainesville, Florida, so I'm a junior now.
Oh, that's cool. How long were you in Gainesville?
I was there for about 3 years. I got my associate's arts degree in sports management, and I liked it there, but I like it here too, so.
So you want to do something with sports?
Yes.
What kind of a career path are you looking for?
My ultimate goal is to be a play-by-play announcer for ESPN, but I want to start off at a local news station, maybe reporting on different sports stories and work my way up, so that when ESPN calls me and say, he's ready to write for us now.
Let's see. Well, I don't have my questions in order. I'm bad at this. When you were growing up, what were any other career ideas that you had?
I thought I was going to be a teacher, thought I was going to be a coach, but really those things really didn't see to my, I guess, why I liked it. So when I started watching sports, I hear the announcers and how excited I yeah, that's what I want to do.
All right. Oh, how old were you when you decided that then?
I would say I would say about 12 or 13.
So you definitely know what you want to do. Mm-hmm. If you couldn't choose this job, what else would you choose?
Ooh, I would say I would choose to be a teacher or maybe a doctor, or I tried to get into something that's sports related.
I can see sports and doctors kind of being together with the whole having to be in shape and stuff. Like maybe a physical physician guy. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
I don't know what I'm doing.
That was 240.
B-A-C-H-A-N-D.
Bashand.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bashand.
Bashand.
We're rolling. Come on, here you go.
Ready? Good afternoon. I'm here joined with Valerie Bashand, and she is a sophomore at the University of North Florida who has a huge passion in music that she's going to talk about. Thank you for joining me today, Valerie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. So tell me about your passion in music. What got you into it? What do you like about it?
Well, I love playing guitar. I've been playing for about 3 years now, and I also really enjoy singing and songwriting.
How'd you get into this?
Well, my passion for music began when I took an intro to guitar class in 10th grade, and the class was very basic and I didn't learn much in the class, so I ended up having to teach myself. And so I fell in love with playing guitar ever since.
Was there a specific moment when you decided that, oh, I want to stick to this when you were in that class?
I think I would say that was the moment because playing came very naturally to me, and I just really had a passion. I just found that I had a passion for playing guitar, and I found that that was my instrument.
What was it like when you bought your first guitar?
It was really exciting. I really wanted to pick up the guitar and learn as many songs as I could. I really wanted to gain more. I just lost my train of thought.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, I just wanted to, I was very inspired by different bands, and I just wanted to learn, that's all I have to say.
Do you listen to certain bands and do you redo their songs, or do you write your own songs?
I write my own songs, and I also cover songs as well.
Do you have a YouTube account that people follow?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's so exciting. How is it like when you see there's different views on it? I know that's a big thing on YouTube when you can see how many people viewed it and shared it. Is that interesting to see?
Yes, it's very exciting to see people's comments and what they think.
I bet you that's really motivating.
Yeah.
So tell me how you are pursuing your career or your passion with being a guitarist now while you're at University of North Florida.
Well, I'm currently taking communications and music classes, and I plan on auditioning to get into the guitar tech major for the fall semester this coming March.
Are you practicing a lot more now knowing that your audition's coming up?
Yes, definitely.
How are you practicing for that?
Going over some scales and music theory and stuff like that.
And how are you tying in communication classes into this?
Well, I could possibly report about music or promote my music through communications.
That is an awesome story. Well, I wish you the best of luck, Valerie, and thank you so much again for joining us. And we will be right back after this break.
Honestly, we should be fine as long as she doesn't have a 15-second pause.
Don't ask me any difficult questions.
No,
then.
it's okay. It's like just pretty basic stuff.
Okay, good.
I'm very good at improvising.
I know you said, but that's what makes me nervous because I don't know.
No, I
what
mean
you're
it's like
gonna ask me.
I sure that one question didn't really show that.
Okay, Al,
But-
can you lean
yeah.
forward a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, not English. All right, I'm ready. Okay. Okay, Al.
Is my mic still on? Because I think.
Yes.
Hang on. Okay.
I hate this.
Before we start, what is your first and last name so I can introduce you properly?
Samantha Dupree.
Dupree.
Yeah, like the movie.
Nice.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Go.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Al Huffman, and I'm here with Samantha Dupree. Samantha, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, so basically, one thing I want to ask you is, what inspired you to come to UNF?
Well, I moved up to Jacksonville about 8 years ago, and after I got my AA at FSCJ, I decided to go ahead and stay at UNF because I haven't heard too many good things about Jacksonville University.
True. Wait, where'd you come from before this?
I was born and raised in Tampa. I moved up here about 8 years ago. Moved up here for personal reasons, but I liked it so much that I decided to buy a home and keep my roots here.
Jacksonville is a lot better than Tampa, as we all know. But
Well, we won the Super Bowl.
All right. So, what do you want to do? What you said you got your AA in.
I got it in Association in Arts, so because I'm pursuing a career in communications. I'd like to do radio broadcasting.
Radio broadcasting. Do you? Okay. What's your favorite radio broadcast person?
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
Yeah, I know he's kind of offbeat, but I think he's funny.
What does he do again? I've actually, admittedly, I've never heard of him.
It's okay. He has a radio show on Sirius XM.
So it's like more comedy based, news.
Well, he's more provocative. He kind of
Provocative.
well
Or is
dance,
that
he
kind of
dances on an
radio?
inappropriate line. You know, he talks about things that necessarily he shouldn't talk about, but you know, he's been in the business a long time, so
He can get away with really anything.
he gets away with a lot.
Okay, so like ideally, what would your ideal radio show be?
I wouldn't mind doing something local. Like I'd like to do. I love music, so I really want to get in with a radio station that does a lot of music stuff because I wouldn't mind getting free tickets to concerts and seeing all that stuff. So.
Well, yeah, but then no one would ever hear you talk. They just like change the channels as soon as talking or commercials went on.
Really, I'm using it as a pass to get in around music. So
I like that.
if I do a little bit of
Good
talking, that's
motives right
fine.
there. Well, thank you very much. That's all the time we have for the day, and thank you for joining us, Samantha.
Okay, thank you.
Just so you know, guys, I didn't write a single question or prepare anything coming into this.
All right.
Okay. All right. Go.
Go. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. My name is Benjamin Fridkis, and joining me tonight is Morgan Holbrook. How you doing tonight, Morgan?
I'm doing well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Good. All right. So, Morgan, tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
Well, it's kind of a long answer. My dad was in the Navy, so I was born in Hawaii. Then we moved to Washington State, then Annapolis, and then we moved to Jacksonville in 2001.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
of those places, Hawaii, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, which one has been your favorite so far?
Honestly, I had great experiences in all of them. I consider myself from Jacksonville because I've been here the longest. I remember in Washington we lived on a big to a 4-year-old piece of property with a lot of woods, and that's something that I haven't had since.
So, you miss the woods?
Oh yeah, I love running around in the woods.
Did you ever hunt, do anything like that?
No, just play and pretend.
Just play and
Silly
pretend.
things like that.
Well, that's the best way to do it, is to play pretend.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So, what are your passions? What are your hobbies?
Well, I do enjoy a bit of video production, writing. I still enjoy going outdoors, camping, kayaking, things like that, hiking, basic outdoorsy stuff, I suppose.
Okay, so kayaking, that must be great down here in Florida.
Yeah, certain times of year.
Certain times, yeah.
It can get bad when it gets too hot, too many bugs.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Oh yeah.
So, what brings you to UNF particularly?
Well, in high school I did high school news, like a television news program, and my teacher there was very, very supportive and very helpful, and that just felt like the natural fit, natural progression.
Okay, fair enough, fair. Okay, so we recently had Valentine's Day this past Sunday. Did you do anything special?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No, I just I had a me day. Yeah, I just watched some television programs, drank some alcohol,
That's
hung out
good.
with some friends.
All right, you know what? Me Day, Valentine's Day is all about love. You gotta love yourself, right?
Absolutely, I like that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so once you're done here at UNF, what do you want to do? Where do you want to take your degree?
Honestly, I don't know. Because I'm kind of torn right now between video and television news, and I did a brief bit of theater at FSCJ the past 2 years. So I'm just kind of taking it a step at a time. Hopefully, by the time I finish this degree, I will have a solid direction.
Do you have any idea where that direction is? Like a particular job?
I like being behind the camera or just on the production end of things, lights, sound, video, things like that.
Okay, okay. So I just have one last question for you. I noticed you have a Batman shirt.
Yeah.
Big fan of Batman?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah?
absolutely.
So we got that new Batman versus Superman thing coming up.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win?
I wish that wasn't the question. My biggest problem with that movie is that they're marketing it as this edgy fight thing, and I wish they didn't. That's just me. I like seeing superheroes team up to team up. So.
Okay, cool. All right, I think that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
This has been Morgan Holbrook and Benjamin Fridkis. Thank you so much.
Yeah. How does that feel? A little better?
Yeah.
Okay. It helps with nerves. Now, I'm going to try to get in your line of sight. Let's stay out of your way. I will do this. I mean, you got 1 minute left.
Okay.
And then I'll do this, you got 30 seconds. 30 seconds is a long time, so don't panic and start wrapping up right away. That's what I was
Okay.
telling Kristen. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, guys, let me know when we're rolling. Okay, go stand by. Go.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Courtney Gels. I am here with Serena Summerfield. She is a UNF student, and she's going to share some interesting things with us. Serena, thank you for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
So, where are you from?
I'm from here in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm born and raised. Nothing too crazy.
And what would you say is the most interesting thing about Jacksonville?
Probably our stadium. It's got those big screens that are bigger than the whole stadium, and no one really actually goes for the games. They go for like the crazy pools and all the other fancy things that have been added for the stadium.
Okay. What is your major?
I'm a communication major.
Okay. Why did you choose UNF?
I actually chose UNF because I'm a transfer student. I went 2 years at Jacksonville University, and then I did a year study abroad. And while I was abroad, I realized that teachers could actually teach and care about their students, unlike the ones over at JU. Over there, it's more of a job. And when I came here to UNF, I found out that students actually want to be your friends, teachers want to teach you, and I kind of really like it here.
Okay. What motivates you to pursue your goals?
As far as college,
Yes.
right now I'm a super senior. I've been in school for way too long, so my motivation is graduating. Like I said, I did 2 years at JU, a year study abroad, and now I've been here for a year, and I still have another year.
Okay. If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be?
Ooh. Probably the weather. I'm a Floridian. I don't like the cold. I would do away with winter.
Okay. What is something about you that everyone doesn't know about?
Probably that I draw. I know it's pretty obvious. I have some on my hands, but I draw with henna. It's kind of something I want to do. Like maybe not business, open up a shop, but like go to little events and kind of share my art. It's not permanent, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Where would be your dream place to live?
Ooh, that one's actually really hard. I really like anywhere that's warm, so maybe anywhere along the equator line, or maybe not even that's warm all year long, like maybe somewhere that was just like a light winter. So maybe the Caribbean or Thailand, because I really loved it there.
Well, thank you, Serena, for joining me this afternoon. We all learned stuff and some great, interesting things about you, and I wish you none but the best in the future.
All right, thank you.
Comprende. Good.
Yeah.
Comprende.
Sí, señor.
Let me know when you're ready. Ready? Okay. Are you rolling? Okay. Okay. Okay, go.
Hello and good evening. Today we have the one and only Patrick Lloyd. Thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us.
for having me.
Alrighty, so did you grow up in Jacksonville?
I did not grow up in Jacksonville. I grew up down south in Tampa, Florida. I was there for up until I was 18 years old, and so Jacksonville is the first city that I've ever lived in that's not Tampa. So I moved here when I was 18 for college when I went to UNF.
And what was the decision behind UNF?
Well, UNF seemed perfect for me for a few different reasons. For one, it was far enough away from home to where my parents wouldn't be knocking on my dorm room every night, but it was not too far away to where I would get too homesick. You know, it's a 4-hour drive, so I'm still, you know, able to make the trip down to Tampa if that's what I want to do. And also it had the major that I was looking for, communication, broadcast journalism, so that was a big reason why I wanted to. I like that the class sizes are smaller, you know, there's not many, you know, huge 200-person lecture halls or anything like that, so those are really the primary reasons why I wanted to go to UNF.
All right, and you say that you didn't want to be homesick, so I take it you're close with your family?
Yes, I'm really close with my family. I text my mom like every single day. She's like my best friend. I'm a total mama's boy. I'm not ashamed to admit that at all. I'm close with my brother. I actually live with my brother. He's my roommate. He also goes to UNF. He's a year younger than I am. And then I've got two older sisters. They are 32 and 26, I want to say. I'm sorry, Carly, that I don't remember how old you are, but whatever. So yeah, I'm close with my whole family in general, so yeah.
Very cool. And so did your brother decide to go to UNF to follow your footsteps?
I think that had a little bit to do with it. You know, you'd have to ask him to get the whole story behind that, but yeah, I think similar reasons for why I wanted to go to UNF had to do with why he wanted to go to UNF, and obviously, you know, we're super close. We're only 14 months apart, so being together definitely played a role in that.
Alrighty. And what major did you choose when you wanted to come to UNF?
Communication with a track in multimedia journalism. Being a broadcast journalist has been a dream of mine from an early age. My dad is actually a radio host. He works for Sirius XM satellite radio, and so broadcast media has been something I've been interested in for basically my whole life, and I'm kind of, a lot of people say that I'm following in his footsteps, but I like to think that I'm creating my own path, going the TV route, so yeah, it's something that I really enjoy and am really interested in.
Very cool. And now one last question for you. If there's one thing that you could say to any future broadcasting journalism student, being that it's in your background, you grew up with it, what would that be?
Follow your dreams, don't listen to the haters, as they say. People are going to tell you that it's unrealistic because, you know, you're being on TV, you're going to be someone who's quote-unquote famous. Don't let people who try to hold you back. Do your own thing.
Dream big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Patrick Lloyd. It's been great having you here. We hope you have a great night, guys. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Krista Austin and we are here with WJXT's retired news anchor, Rob Sweden. Hi Rob, how are you?
I'm feeling just fine, how are you?
I'm great, thanks for asking. So my first question for you is, where were you born?
I was born in Miami, born and raised down there.
Awesome, how long were you down there?
Well, all of high school. I left Miami when I was 17 years old, and I haven't been back to live more than 2 years, I guess. But yeah, 17 years.
Awesome. So I guess my next question is, how did you end up here in Jacksonville?
Well, I bounced around a lot, but this is my first time living in Jacksonville. I moved from West Palm Beach, where I finished college. West Palm Beach, then went to Tampa, then I went to Miami, went back home, and I worked at Channel 7 down there for 2 years. And then I moved from there to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta, I moved here.
Awesome. How did you get a job at WJXT?
Well, it was an interesting story. I worked at WSB in Atlanta, and I did the noon news on the weekend. That's Saturday and Sunday. And I wanted to anchor the news 5 days a week, not just 2 days a week. And a friend of mine, who now lives here, told me about the job at WJXT, and that's when I decided to apply for the job, and I got it.
Awesome. So we know you as Rob Sweden, definitely the guy, the anchor. So recently something happened. You retired.
I did.
Or what they call it, maybe semi-retired.
Exactly.
What led to you making that decision?
Well, I felt I had done what I wanted to do in this business, in television. And I've always wanted to teach. I thought I'd give it a try, but I was ready to retire. And I found that I just couldn't do nothing. I couldn't just sit on the couch. So I decided to teach here, and I still work part-time at Channel 4. I go back and I fill in for other people. So I'm still working.
Awesome. How long were you working at WJXT before you decided to retire?
30 years on the nose.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So out of these 30 years, what would you say would be your most memorable experience?
Just covering stories. When I first got here, yes, I anchored, but I also went out and covered stories. And I've had a number of exciting stories. Surviving a survivable plane crash, covered train crashes and so forth. But my most memorable story was a mortician who wasn't embalming people, he was just burying them, and we finally caught up with him, and it was a gruesome story, but I remember it.
Awesome. Last question really quickly. Who is Rob Sweden when he's not at the anchor desk?
At the end, when I'm at home relaxing, I like to play tennis. That's my exercise. And I walk a little bit, I work out at the gym a little bit. And that's about it. I gotten away from art, but I used to paint. And otherwise, it's just a fun guy to be around. That's my thing.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gents, that's all we have with Rob Sweden. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Okay, we're rolling.
Excuse me. Good afternoon, folks. Today we're here with Rose. So Rose, how are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well myself, thanks for asking. So first, Rose, that's a pretty lovely name, by the way, but it's very interesting. Is that your birth name?
It is not actually. My real name is Wurud, but it's very hard for people to pronounce, so I chose to go by Rose. My name actually means flowers, but it's awkward being called flowers in English, so I picked a flower and it was a rose.
I got you. It's very funny. So Rose, or should I say your birth name, where is that from? Where's the origin of that?
My name's from Syria. I'm Arabic. I moved to the U.S. In 2001. Been here for about 15 years now.
What caused you to come to America?
My dad moved here in '99 just for more opportunities. His whole family was here, so we kind of, it was a something that was meant to be. So we moved here for more opportunities. I'm the first college student in the family, so we're definitely reaching our goals.
Okay, so did you like, or should I say, did you choose UNF?
I did. UNF was perfect for me because it was an accredited university. I could still be living at my parents' house. I didn't have to go anywhere. So it was very convenient for me to come here.
So back to the name Rose from flowers. Why Rose of all flowers?
Funny story. When I chose Rose, I was about 8 years old, and I did not speak English. The only thing I knew was the movie Titanic, and the girl in the movie was named Rose. So when they said, you need to change your name when you come to the U.S., nobody's going to be able to pronounce it, I said, well, you know, Rose it is, because that was my most favorite character.
Okay. So does that have any relation to you liking like Leonardo DiCaprio?
Of course. What woman doesn't love Leo?
Duly noted. So would you say you love American entertainment over Syrian, or like how's that love?
I think there's beauty in both, but growing up with American entertainment mostly, I would choose American entertainment.
Okay. So at UNF, you major in communications?
I did. I'm actually, my concentration is public relations. I chose this field because I feel like it gives you a broad spectrum of careers to choose from upon graduation. So I'm hoping to work for an agency after graduating UNF and going on from there, hopefully 10 years down the road, getting my own firm and giving opportunities for new students graduating.
Gotcha. So PR, would you say you like cleaning up other people's messes, or?
Yes, I like a little bit of drama.
Okay. Well, with Rose, I'm signing off from UNF, Christian Ray.
Hold on. Let me know when you're ready. We're rolling.
Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We're talking to Benjamin Fridkiss. Ben, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me here.
All right. So Ben, I guess could you tell me a little, just briefly, about the path that has led you to UNF today?
Well, UNF, it's sort of not too much of a winding path, but I was originally going to school at the university, or not the university, Florida Gulf Coast University over in Fort Myers, and I studied there for about 2 years, and then I came over here to UNF to visit my sister. She lives over here in Jacksonville, and I sort of fell in love with the city, and I visited the campus, and it was just so much nicer than FGCU for me, and that's really what brought me here.
Okay. So when you were at FGCU, were you, excuse me, were you studying, what were you studying there?
Communication, same thing I'm studying now.
Okay, great. Now, how do you enjoy spending your time?
My time, I'm an inside person. I spend a lot of my time reading books, writing, I play a lot of video games, kind of problem, but I like it. Good problem to have for me.
Anything in moderation.
True, very true. But that's mostly me. I get out, not all as often as I should, but That's mostly it. I'm mostly a indoors person.
Any titles you've been particularly stuck on recently? Fallout 4, maybe? Anything like that?
Actually, Dark Souls.
Really?
The older Dark Souls game I got into.
Yes.
A lot of hype around it. I got to see for myself what it's all about.
Yeah, I've heard that's a very difficult game. Now, what goals would you say you're primarily focused on right now?
Right now, I just want to get my degree, get out. I have some writings that I'd like to get done, get published, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But I want to get the ball rolling and get everything
Sure.
steamrolling.
That sounds like a fair plan to me. Now, what do you hope to gain from your time here at UNF?
At UNF, I want to make connections. I want to meet people, talk to people. I want to meet the person who's going to publish the book, first of all.
Okay.
Maybe meet the person who's going to get my voice on the air, something like that. You know, learn everything I can.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think networking is a great, big part of the college experience. Now, what experience in your life do you feel have most strongly influenced the person you are today?
I would say stories. I have a lot of stories from my father, my grandfather, both lived very storied lives, and I don't want to say I tried to mold myself in their image, but I tried to be as good of a person as they were, or at least the people in their stories try to follow the example that they've set for me.
Okay, so last thing I want to ask you is, what do you want anyone who meets you to take away from his or her experience?
That I'm a funny guy and that they like me.
That sounds like pretty simple, good stuff. All right, well, thank you again, Ben, for joining us. My name's Morgan Holbrook, and I think that's all we got.
All right.
Okay, hold on, stand by. Okay, and go.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us. Today we've got Kelsey Oates as our guest today, the one and only Kelsey Oates. Kelsey, thanks so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Tell me what you do for a living, Kelsey.
I am an assistant manager at Outback Steakhouse. You know, the one and only. Go Outback tonight. I've been there for about 5 years right now, paying my way through college.
Okay, you said assistant manager. That's a pretty high up title. How did you work your way up to that?
Well, I started as a server, and then I just worked my magic and worked really hard, climbed the corporate ladder, I guess you could say. And I'm actually one of the youngest assistant managers of Outback in our region, so it's very exciting.
That's impressive. So how long have you been working at Outback?
It will be 6 years in October.
Okay, wow. So it's a long time.
Very long time.
Good. How do you enjoy it?
I do. It gets a little bit stressful, you know, being a people pleaser all the time, but I love what I do, so I love people.
Get good tips?
I do. When I do serve, yes, I do.
There we go. That's good. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Miami, but I moved here at the age of 2. I continuously go back to Miami, though, but I like to consider myself a Jacksonville local. So I went to middle school, high school, and even college here. So I'm a big fan of Jacksonville. Never want to leave.
Okay. Now there's something very noticeable about you. We can't see it on the camera, but your pants that you're wearing are very extravagant. You've got some floral yoga pants. Tell me about your dressing style.
Yes. I like my dresses or my dressing style to match my personality. I'm very loud, so I feel that my outfit should be very loud. Crazy prints are what my friends know me for. They'll be shopping and they'll say, look at this dress, it looks like you. And just to know that someone thinks of you when they see a certain print, it excites me, makes me happy. Like that matches me.
Tell me about what you want to do for your career.
My main dream, my big dream would be to be an entertainment broadcaster. Since I was little, I always wanted to be in front of a camera. My parents told me about high school that I needed to be realistic with my dreams. I'm probably not going to be an actress, probably not going to be a pop singer. Let's do something that you can actually work towards. So I decided that being an anchor, being a reporter, most likely the entertainment aspect of it, I want to be that.
So how has that been working out for you so far?
Really, really well, actually. Here at UNF, I have a lot of connections. I've made a lot of connections, networking my butt off. And hopefully after graduation, the dream is to travel out to LA and see where my dreams take me.
Wow, that's good stuff. An entertainment broadcaster. I will be sure to be looking out for you on something like the E! Network or something like that, or ABC. Is that something you'd want to do?
Definitely, definitely. E! Television, definitely I want to be on the red carpet. perhaps in a wild printed dress, and you'll be like, oh, I know her. That's a Kelsey dress.
I'll remember because of the dress. I'll remember the pants that you're
Exactly.
wearing and be like, yep, that's her. That's Kelsey Oates.
You have to make an impact somehow.
All right, I think that's all we had, the time we have for today. So thanks so much for tuning in today. We have been interviewing Kelsey Oates, and I hope you have a good one.
Thank you.
I'm ready when you guys are. We're rolling.
Good evening. Today we are meeting with Christian Rui, a communications student at UNF, and he is here to inspire us with his story. Chris, thank you for joining us today. When did you decide to major in communications?
I'd say when I was about 6 years old, I knew I fell in love with ESPN, and when I came to UNF is when I chose to major in communications, but throughout that process, I never wavered.
Wow, impressive. What made you choose UNF?
Scholarships, really. They gave me the capability to leave my mom's house. I was like, hey, I'm 18, I can't live at home. Granted, my mom was like, you're 18, you can't live at home either. So that conflict of interest and everything, it's just UNF gave me the best option, so I chose here.
Okay, all right. Now, growing up, who would you say was your most inspirational broadcaster?
I say rest in peace, but Stuart Scott, Booyah, that's his like signature line.
Okay.
But him, Stephen A. Smith, I love Chris Broussard. You did ask my most, but yeah, it'd definitely be Stuart Scott. Just between him starring in movies, his presence on the ESPN broadcast, and just the way he carried himself.
Sure, I'm understanding. Where do you see yourself going after UNF?
California is ultimately the goal. If you ask me, I think I should have been in California, but there's an ESPN station over there, and I just love everything about like the environment, culture, plenty sports opportunities, which I love, and so yeah, that's the.
You want to work with the Lakers, maybe?
That would definitely be the ultimate. Granted, it wouldn't be any Kobe Bryant, but yeah, I love that.
Awesome. So besides Jacksonville, you said California. Any particular spots in California? Santa Monica, Los Angeles,
I love the Bay Area.
Okay.
It's like my favorite location, from San Francisco to Oakland to Berkeley. I love the culture, the music. I've never been, so I can't really speak on weather, not hurricanes, but earthquakes and whatnot, but I think I'll like it.
All right. So Chris, if you could just give us one tip for aspiring college students coming to UNF, what would it be?
Do not miss class. Even though it may seem like the cool thing to do, or your friends will be like, nah man, don't go to class. You're paying for the class, go to class.
All righty. Thank you for joining us today, Chris. Chris was here to inspire us with his story and inform all aspiring college students on what to do, how to do it, and how to take it from there. Thank you for joining us. Good evening.
Okay. And go.
Good afternoon. I'm Samantha Dupree, and I'm here with Al Huffman. Al, how are you today?
Hi, Mom. I'm good.
Good, good. I have some questions. What made you decide to study at UNF?
I couldn't afford to go anywhere else, honestly. That was really it. I got into UCF, and I didn't get into Florida. Screw them. But like, I couldn't afford to do the dorms or anything like that at UCF, and here I'd be able to live at my house, so decided to go to UNF.
Are you from Jacksonville?
Yeah, born and raised.
Okay.
Duval,
What is your major in?
Journalism.
Journalism?
Communications with a track in journalism,
Well, what inspired you to pursue a career in journalism?
Honestly, I had a lot better chance of making it than like as an actor or something like that. That's what I wanted to be as a kid.
Oh, was that your first interest?
Yeah, and then I realized that Jim Rome makes $30 million a year, and I was like, screw that. I want to be on TV and radio and stuff like that. So decided to go for it.
Is there any special field that you would like to do?
Originally I wanted to just be a sports writer, but like the revelation about how much Jim Rome makes and how much the people on ESPN on TV make, that was crazy. So I was like, all right, maybe I'm going to start doing television stuff too, because that's
That's where the money is.
Okay, so obviously you're interested in sports.
Yeah.
What sport do you follow the most?
Football, if I'm being totally honest. I'm American, you know, it's what we do here.
And are the Jaguars your favorite team?
Sadly, yeah. Dreams don't come true.
Who is your favorite player?
Like all-time favorite Jag or current Jags?
Both.
All-time favorite, it was probably Maurice Jones-Drew. Like his retirement speech, I remember. Like I always liked the guy, but then his retirement speech, it was like, "What did you do after retiring?" It was like, "Man, I just went and got like 6 plates of nachos," and I'm like, "That's my guy right there."
What about?
Oh, sorry. Current players, I'd have to say Blake Bortles. Just because like he reminds me a lot of Brett Favre, and like I always liked Brett Favre as a kid, and I was like, oh, finally we got a good quarterback who has a personality. So that's
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, what would you say is the most exciting experience you've ever had in your life?
I've had a pretty boring life, so I don't know how to answer that. But this is one of those things that honestly I'd be able to come up with something like a few hours later, but for now I really got nothing I can give you. Nothing appropriate for TV anyway.
Well, this is Al, and Al, thank you for sharing your time with us. Thank you.
Thank you.